yet again talking about the Tati Westbrook lawsuit against Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy. You guys, this lawsuit has turned into a straight circus. There is so much going on with all of this, especially on social media. People trying to hack into accounts, death threats have been delivered, and all while this is going on, these lawyers continue to go back and forth about things that aren't even relevant to the case itself. For those of you who don't know, there has been a lot happening in the last 72 hours or so. Katie tweeted this over on Twitter, basically letting people know that someone was trying to hack into her accounts. It was more of a threat, I guess you could say, but she said all of the data, emails, and such has been forwarded to the proper authorities and my legal team. There are a lot of very disturbed and mentally unhinged people online attempting to tamper with my legal case. Tampering and hacking is illegal. My accounts are fully secure today. People suggesting that I have hacked anyone or done anything nefarious are deeply disturbed and unhinged people attempting to frame me as a hacker to get me in trouble in my legal case. I have not hacked anyone. Thank you. So this was her response to all of this going on, because a lot of people fell victim to this. These accounts were messaging not only people like Emily D. Baker and Tati Westbrook's lawyer, but also just people who have been viewing this lawsuit, watching this lawsuit unfold on YouTube, on Twitter. These little people were also receiving death threats, all basically because they mentioned someone's name or because they put their 2 cents into something. As I just mentioned, Emily D. Baker and Tati Westbrook's lawyer also fell victim to this stuff, and Emily D. Baker had this to say over on Twitter, basically just saying, hey, this is another level of effery. I'm trying to get things done. She said, my thoughts: first, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Second, in the work I've done with cybercrimes, you can trace back VPNs. It's not a matter of if they're going to figure out who done this stuff, it's a matter of when, because after all of this, they're definitely going to do some investigation and figure out who did this stuff. Yet again, another tweet from Emily. She said, thoughts on today's effery. We are law nerds. We do not bend to bullshit. If you see something, it's okay to screenshot and move on. No need to give the attention that is so clearly desired. No need to engage. This could very possibly be some young kids trying to tamper with this case in some form or fashion. Let's hope for Katie's sake that that is what it is and that her hands are clean in this situation. Like I said before, it's mind-blowing to me because this is a defamation case, and although it is something that millions of people are following, it's just insane that it's gotten to this level of extremity. Michael Saltz tweeted this saying, well, what do we have here? There appears to have been several hacking attempts today on my Google and Twitter accounts, and possibly others. This is not the first time, and whomever it was used a familiar email address in their efforts. And then as you can see, the images down below there, you can see the email address. And yeah, I'm not going to speak on that because I just don't want to speculate anything. I'm going to let the investigators do their job here. Now moving on, Mr. Saltz also tweeted this out saying, given the current circumstances, was this prior tweet supposed to be an admission of hacking? This is in the form of a question to an attached tweet from Katie Joy saying, email communications go both ways. Trust me, just like I'm being watched, so are you. We know everything. So this is pretty much Mr. Saltz is asking her, is this a threat? Was this a threat to all of this that's going on now? Here is some more tweets from Katie Joy herself. None of these are in exact order, you guys, but I did find them interesting and I wanted to share them with you. She said, today was the last straw. Threatening an attorney in a federal case of committing a felony without evidence and relying on false statements from mentally disturbed and unwell people is unethical, and in the state of California, lawyers are prohibited from doing this. And then she's attached the law and how the law works when it comes to this type of thing. She also posted, I'm at a point where I know people hate me and I literally just don't even care anymore. Might as well enjoy life and be happy. Let the haters hate. It's their misery, not mine. The last one I wanted to share with you guys was this one. It says, it's simple. Stop falsely accusing me of felonies and using YouTubers to spread the defamation, and I won't have to respond to the circus of harassment and death threats created by the false allegations. In my opinion, it's a smokescreen to distract from the alleged $5 million fraud lawsuit. In my personal opinion, I feel all of this was created by confusion and anger based off of the fact, in my opinion, that Katie Joy will not shut up. The other side of this lawsuit, Tati has not said anything. She has kept it all in this lawsuit, in her declarations, in the legal documents, and she has not spoken a word on social media. Yet Katie Joy continues to play different narratives, trying to play the victim, continues to allege crazy stuff and say things as facts, and all of this is causing so much confusion, so much anger from different sides of the map. Everyone that's watching this unfold, you've got half of these people that actually believe what Katie is saying, and then you have the other half that are so upset with the fact that this woman will not just hush, because we know that she is only making matters worse. When you're in a lawsuit like this, I don't think the smart thing is to go public and share all your thoughts and opinions on every single thing that's going on. Another thing that Katie's really bad about is, even if she doesn't say, hey, this is about the lawsuit, she's constantly insinuating things to do with the lawsuit, and people are picking everything she says apart. That's what she doesn't seem to understand, is every time she goes live, every time she tweets something, every time she does these things, people are going to pick every single word of hers apart because of the situation she's in. Everything has turned into such a shit show, you guys. Excuse my French, but that's exactly what this is. And it's based off of the fact that people are getting different ideas based off of the things that Katie is saying. If Katie wants to say something as facts, or if she wants to defend herself, she can very much do so in this lawsuit with her declarations, her responses. All she has to do is say what she wants to say and keep going. But instead of keeping all of this in the lawsuit and only in the lawsuit, she continues to make everything very public. So honestly, guys, I'm not going to even be spending that much time on this declaration from Katie Joy. I believe it is shady the house, and I just don't want to waste a lot of time on it. If you guys do want to see the whole thing in full, I will leave Emily D. Baker's video down below so you can go check it out. In my personal opinion, this whole thing was just a waste of paper and a waste of time. But they do allege that Mr. Saltz is trying to accuse them of being the masterminds behind all of this. In Katie's declaration, she of course denies having anything to do with any of this. She says that she is not connected in any way whatsoever. Now, she does provide a few receipts here, but honestly, once again, these receipts aren't really relevant to what she has to say. In my personal opinion, she did not really share any receipts that are actually relevant to what she said. So this is basically just her words saying, hey, I had nothing to do with this. I'm not connected to anyone doing this in any way whatsoever. And then moving on. What we are going to be talking about is Mr. Brown's declaration. In his declaration, he does share some relevant receipts to all of this that's going down. And that is the emails between him and Mr. Saltz. Now, I am going to read a few of these to you guys because this is his receipts proving that Mr. Saltz is accusing them of being the masterminds behind all of this nastiness. And I just want your thoughts and opinions on what you believe. If you was to read these emails, would you see it as someone trying to accuse you of doing horrific things, or would you see it as something else? This is a little confusing because their names are both Michael, but this is the email from Mr. Saltz to Mr. Brown, and it says, Michael, you should be made aware that the blank has just stated on Twitter that he or she was hired by your clients to do what they did. You should check the account before it is declined. Suffice it to say, very serious claims have now been made implicating your client in these and other matters. We ask that you take all steps to preserve any and all evidence so that a full forensic investigation can be done. We also demand that you document and take control over the 24 Twitter accounts and 3 email accounts that apparently belong to your client to safeguard them from deletion due to her stock accounts now being exposed. Please confirm that you have done so. Such evidence can be preserved per the court's order. To me, when I read this, I see it kind of like a heads up, just to let you know this is what's going down, and you may want to go get your receipts together, take your screenshots of evidence so that you can clear your client's name if she did not do these things. The next one here says, Mr. Brown, the other blank is disclosing information of your client's plans to delete evidence and bring false charges against me. They claim that your client gave them a special IP address and passwords to do their work on their behalf. Part of that was to sign myself up with various nasty websites, you guys. This person claimed to be 13 and 15 years old and were hired by your clients through Facebook. They claimed that this was done to discredit me so that I could not prosecute the case. They also claimed that they were told to try into your client's accounts to make it look like she was being too, so she could pretend to be a victim. There is evidence of open communications and planning between your clients and the accounts, as all involved foreshadowed that they were going to hit us with a big surprise. We demand to know what your involvement or knowledge was of these alleged plans. Be advised that we are immediately sending a subpoena to Twitter to obtain the full identity of these now admitted accounts. We are in the process of providing all the information to the federal authorities and will be pressing charges once we determine all who are involved in the attempts and the witness tampering. To me, it seems that he is trying to work with Katie's legal team and keeping them informed on what's going on, letting them know, hey, we've got evidence of this, we've been told this, so you may want to do your part as Katie's legal team and do something as well. So what did they go and do? Instead of going and getting all this evidence, you guys, they turned all of this back on Mr. Salts, the one who was just giving them the heads up and letting them know what was going on. In my personal opinion, they wasted all their efforts and time on making him look like the bad guy. Oh, they're accusing me of all this horrible stuff, instead of actually going and clearing the client's name. If she's innocent, right, which I'm not going to say she is or she isn't because I don't know, but if Katie is innocent, as her legal team, would you not want to go and get proof and evidence of that? If you're going to go put in a whole response, a whole declaration that wasn't needed, but you put it in and you asked for urgency on this declaration, would you not bring evidence of something showing that your client was innocent, that your client has nothing to do with this? You guys, I didn't see that. I didn't see that in any of this. I didn't see anything that I could look at and say, okay, well, yeah, Katie's innocent. She didn't do any of this. And once again, I'm not saying she did do it. I'm just saying that in this response, in these declarations from them, I don't see it. All I see is them trying to play this narrative that Mr. Salts is accusing them under false pretenses. But where's the false pretenses, number one? And where does he accuse them, number two? I do not see Mr. Salts accusing. He's just letting them know this is what we have, this is what we've been told, and we're going to move forward. We're going to get authorities involved, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it. So if there is any chance that your client has anything to do with this, you may want to go ahead and get your information up, get your receipts, do what you got to do to clear her name. What is so bad about that, you guys? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's so bad about that or what he did that was so bad. This is what you usually see when it comes to lawsuits. The lawyers have to work together, and it seems to me, in my personal opinion, that is what he was trying to do. Mr. Salts was trying to work with him. He was trying to keep him informed. But Mr. Brown is taking it as something else and making it something else and fighting against him. You guys, this is correct. This whole thing is just so crazy to me. Mr. Brown did respond, and this is what he had to say. We need to get the court involved ASAP. Katie denies your allegations, and I certainly know nothing about any hacking or the other stuff. I do know that Katie is under a barrage of people attempting to link her Google account to people she does not know. It would be the least surprising thing in the world if it turns out that one of your thousands of followers is setting her up. I'm skeptical about your allegations, but they should be aired in front of the judge. I also have concerns that I won't address. I don't think we can get her attention on a holiday, but perhaps we should send an email or something today. So much about this that is unprofessional. So much about this. You can even look at the format of the emails themselves, okay? You see Mr. Salt's emails, formal, they're professional, they go through everything, they're detailed, they make sense. And then you see this from Mr. Brown, and in my personal opinion, opinion, this looks like a message that I would have sent. It doesn't look like legal talk or professional whatsoever. It's just a basic email, and the things he says in it, it's like after every single thing that was just said to you, this is all you have to say about it? Like, really? We deny these allegations that never happened, but we think it's because of you. You're the reason. You did this. And we need to get the courts involved. We need them ASAP. And that's exactly what they did, you guys. They went in there. They urgently asked the courts to get involved and put a stop to Mr. Saltz and his allegations, accusing them of doing all this horrible stuff. Y'all, when the courts respond to all of this, somebody's going to be mad. That judge is going to be mad. I would be. I mean, I'm just saying, I would be. So much of this is a waste of time. So much of this is childish. And in my opinion, there is some immaturity from both sides when it comes to this case. But so to me, Katie's legal team is really showing a level of immaturity. And it's just so unprecedented. You don't see things like this when it comes to lawsuits. You don't see this happening between lawyers like this. And so it's just crazy. And all of it's over a defamation case, you guys. Dark turns that this lawsuit has taken when it all started as defamation. And by the end of this, I don't think it's going to end with just defamation. But once again, that is my opinion. That is it for this update, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love hearing what you guys have to say, and there's a lot to be said in this one. Also, if you want to stay in the loop with everything to do with this lawsuit and in the drama world in general, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell for post notifications. That way you are notified every single time I upload. I love you guys and appreciate you to the moon and stars. And until next time,